I'm Red Robinson, and these are the Legends of Rock. The Righteous Brothers' Blue-Eyed Soul topped the charts in the mid-'60s. I asked Bill Medley and Bobby Hatfield about their friendship and their music.
Yeah, it's just difficult, especially when we first started. We had young, our children were real young, and we didn't really get a chance to watch them grow up. But it was easy to stay friends because we joke around a lot. We like a lot of the same things, with sports and all that stuff. So that really does help.
The music business is demanding on people, and they don't realize it. And that's why I asked that, because a lot of people say, well, how come the acts don't go on? I mean, the Beatles broke up, they get married, you go down a different road in life. Even Don and Phil, who I've known for 20 years, I mean, they were in show business, they were little kids. So, the public doesn't understand that sometimes. It's so demanding upon you. Looking at your music, though, and that's what I wanted to talk to both of you about, how does it feel to have a standard like You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin'? And maybe you could tell us that story about going to the movie Top Gun. But just to set that up, You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling, statistically, has appeared, the song, 4 times in the top 20. Once with yourself, Dionne Warwick, again with the Hall & Oates, and Long John Baldry, who lives here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that must do something for you to say that you put out something that's permanent in the music of North America.
We at least know it's a good record. I mean, it was definitely a good song and all that. I'll never forget, we worked at a little club, and the Rivingtons were there. Remember that? Went in to see the Rivingtons. Yeah. They didn't have a bunch of hits, but they're a bunch of really neat guys, and they said, I'll never forget the statement the guy said. He said, you realize with You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin', and he was totally serious, you two can work for the rest of your lives.
It's true, though.
It gave us the shakes.
Kind of true, yeah.
God, we got to work the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
That's nice from the standpoint of it, is obviously, like you mentioned, it's been a hit so many times, so it's going to be around probably long after we're gone.
Yeah, I would bet that it's going to be a hit a couple of more times. The real great thing about having that kind of a record is that we really never get tired of singing it. It is a great song, and Barry and Cynthia Mann wrote it, and it's just a great song. I think Paul Anka told Sammy Davis Jr. once, he says, the good thing about having a hit with Candyman is you're going to get some more work. The bad news is you're going to have to do it the rest of your life.
But there was a story. You're in Vegas recently. You're going to a movie theater to see Top Gun. What happened there? You're watching the movie, and all of a sudden you discover something.
Actually, we still haven't seen the movie.
No.
My son, who's 16 years old, came home and he said, Dad, you're happening. I said, what do you mean I'm happening?
Good.
He said, I went to see this movie called Top Gun last night. And oddly enough, Bill and I have never even received a letter of authorization or anything from Paramount Pictures.
We didn't know it was in there.
So we didn't know it was in there. We found out it was in there, and we contacted Paramount Pictures, and we opened our Las Vegas show with that little maybe minute and a half film clip of him sauntering up to the bar, because we had about a 10-minute break in between us and Paul Revere and the Raiders, so we put that little film clip in there, and it was an enjoyable and entertaining way to open the show, but we haven't seen it.
No,
somebody ought to talk to somebody, though. I mean, don't get a dollar or something
for this? Well, we need
money,
yeah, and we do need money.
Well, with the material you write, a lot of the performers I talk to, that's where it's really made in the shade, too. Record companies, without getting into that whole thing, back in the late 50s and early 60s, some of the artists never got the royalties, and I'm not going down that road. But for sure, the guys that wrote the songs are the ones that seem to be healthier as the years go by.
And the publishers.
Especially publishing is wonderful. The guys that, and I don't even know if any of them did. Now they do. They hold on to half of their publishing and this and that, and that is without question, your retirement. We wrote a lot of our early stuff, and we haven't seen any of that money. We didn't write anything that became like Lovin' Feelin', but Loopy Lou and My Babe and those songs, and so it did get a little crazy there before the entertainers really figured out what was going down. These guys were stealing their money.
Bill, you still record, because I'm aware of your records in the country field. I did a country music show for a lot of years, morning radio. And but Bob, what are you doing record?
Gardening, mainly.
No, other than touring, you
country gardening.
Yeah, right.
Very hot on the West Coast.
But other than that, you don't record together anymore, or are you going to, or anything?
We might do something. Next year will be our 25th anniversary, so we might do some kind of a silver anniversary deal. And if we do it, we've had discussions about if we do it, we're going to do it where we have total control. I mean, right now all of our masters are with Polydor Records, and we know how expensive that would be to ask them even to go into a partnership deal with us. So we're going to possibly go in and maybe do, we own a couple of clubs in Southern California. We might do one side live, and then we might go in and re-record some of our hit records so we have some control over them. And
kind of the mail order.
Yeah.
Right.
Call directly Bill's house before 7 a.m.
They call me, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Let me jot that down.
Look at the number on the screen.
Yeah, right.
Call collect. But, of all of the people that I've interviewed over the years, you two are among a very select group. You're class guys, you have a class act, you are professionals, you care when you go out there and do your performance. I appreciated it today, watching you out there performing. I think there's an attitude by some, without getting into any names, that, hey, we've done this over and over and over again. But you two seem to respond to the audience reaction to your material. So it doesn't seem like you're doing it just because you have to.
No, we really enjoy it. We love the songs that we're doing. We love everything about it. I suppose, maybe breaking up and in '68 and this and that probably has helped. It's like taking separate vacations. But that seems to have helped us and kind of helped it's kind of kept the audiences, still coming. I mean, we didn't burn ourselves out. We were never, worn out.
We're singing pretty good too. That's a big plus.
Yeah.
We've seen some of our buddies, that we, shindig buddies and so on that, and again, like you, I won't mention any names, but have no chops.
No.
But they're still out there making a buck, and that gets to a point of, that's a ripoff. That would be real tough for us to do, because if our voices went, we certainly wouldn't be here doing our songs, and because if we're not satisfied, then the audience is not going to be happy.
You obviously set a standard. I guess that's the best way of me putting it, because when I watch you up there, and you kidded Bobby about it's harder to hit those high notes. Well, it is, of course, but there's
as
ways
long
to
as you
handle
still can.
You can. You did today.
Well, that was a marvelous audience today. I mean, first time we worked here in Vancouver was in 22 years ago.
Yeah, at the Cave.
At the Cave, and we've always loved it up here. But audiences in Canada are a little more like today's audience. They were reserved, but they weren't reserved.
That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of they're listening.
Well, they're respectful. I think that's the word. They came out to see you.
Yeah.
And they want to see you, and they want to tell you they enjoy it.
Oh, they were amazing.
I was watching it. The great thing about working during the day is normally, it's good news and bad news.
Yes.
And normally you don't get to see the audience. I mean, they were all singing along with you.
I know it. Young people were singing the words. That's what amazed me.
No, it's a drag to see the audience when they don't like you. I mean, then
I can't imagine that with the Rogers Brothers show. Where did the term blue-eyed soul get started? I've heard 80 stories. Did a black group call you that, or no?
I think there was a disc jockey back in Baltimore. It seems like his name was Porky Chadwick.
Oh, sure.
Was that
yes,
a name?
That's a jock.
I think it is. I think he initially put on a little Latin loopy-loo, and when he found out that we were white, he started calling us his blue-eyed soul brothers when he played the song. That's the first time I had ever heard the phrase, and then it kind of stuck, and that's as far as I know.
Our second album was called Some Blue-Eyed Soul.
That's
so
right.
we don't know if the jock started it or if they kind of picked it off of
the record company picked it off.
Yeah.
How about the Righteous Brothers? Did that come from black performers, or how did that come about?
Not black performers, but we were the Paramours in Southern California. There's 5 of us, and some black Marines used to come into the club. And because Bobby and I sang rhythm and blues, and in those days, like 61, 62, no white guys were doing it. I suppose a lot of guys from the South were doing it, but not in California. No. And they said, like, it's a nice pair of slacks. They said, it's a righteous, pair of pants. And if they liked you as a friend, they call you a brother. So they started calling Bobby and I the Righteous Brothers.
And it stuck.
Yeah, we wish they would have yelled out the Beatles or something.
Speaking of the Beatles, we won't go into all of that, but I do remember I was the MC on the show, the first North American tour here in Vancouver in 1964, and you were on the bill as the warm-up act at that time with Jackie DeShannon. But just in summing up the tour, it must have been a harrowing experience.
Actually, the West Coast wasn't bad. The West Coast, when we, as far even up here as Vancouver, wasn't too bad because some of the people had heard of us then. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and even as far east as Denver.
Yeah.
We were okay, but once we got past...
it's kind of like going over the cliff.
Once we got past the Rockies, I mean, Moonglow Records, our initial record company, that was... we literally physically distributed some of our records by ourselves in boxes. Yeah. So they never really were what you would call a powerful force in the record business. The guy I'm sure now is long retired and living with a lot of money.
In Hawaii.
Yeah. But by the time we got to the East Coast, the majority of those people hadn't heard Little Latin Loopy Loo. I think it only went to in the 70s on Billboard. So opening in Philadelphia and New York, that was horrendous. So we went to Brian Epstein in New York. We said, we've been here, we've done our deal, but we're not really into 50,000 kids chanting "We want the Beatles" while we're trying to sing the blues.
Well, we're real happy for the guys, but
no, I understand.
And he was nice. He was great. He understood. He said, "Hey, I don't blame you a bit. Take off." So we took off the next morning. They hired Frogman Henry. We went back and did the pilot for Shindig, and it worked out real well.
Legends? That's what we're all about at redrobinson.com.